फिनटेक तो अनस्टेबल है, कभी भी लाइसेंस जा सकता है. 15 मिनट में IPO is done. 1x fully subscribed. When we ended on day 3 at 5 p.m., I think we were 120x oversubscribed. Even today, 90% of India does not have access to financial services.
90%.
90%. Country of 1.3, 1.35 billion. Today, 450 to 500 million Indians are transacting digital payments. When you talk about people who are investing, including FD and gold, that number is also sub 100 million. India is now the third largest fintech market in the world. उसके बाद भी ये हाल है. 8 November 2016, massive calls from government and everyone कि हर पेट्रोल पंप पे लगाओ, हर LPG पे QR लगाओ, सब कुछ. Like,
And can we shut the cameras? Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Upasana, for giving us time today.
my pleasure.
We've been waiting for you for ages, I feel.
Really?
Because, yeah, I was checking my email and I realized that the first invite I sent to you was like 5 years ago.
Oh my God.
But we finally got you. But Bipin had come earlier.
See, I sent my representative to make sure that, we are making sure that we accept invites. I think that I'm very bad at sort of generally going out there and talking a lot about what we do. Realized over the years that uski bhi zarurat hai, like visibility, tell people how you build the company. It will hopefully inspire more people. But I think I have a lot of operator mindset. So I'm always trying to build more and new things within the business. So, but great to be here.
Yeah.
Very happy.
Yes, we're all very excited. We want to hear your story. We want to hear your advice. We want to hear how your life has been for the last 3 months, 4 months now since you went public. So yes, a lot of things to cover. But I want to tell you that all the students here are in their 0 to 1 journey.
Right.
Everybody's a founder here. Everybody's looking to build something, right? And one of the questions I get again and again is that initial 100 days, those first 10 customers, that first 10 lakh rupees of revenue is the toughest to get to.
Yeah.
Right? And I often don't have answers to them. Yeah, we want to list on Blinkit, but वो reply नहीं कर रहे. We want to do this, ये नहीं हो रहा. Amazon पे हम लोग product डाल रहे हैं पर बिक ही नहीं रहा. So I want to ask you if you can take us back to your first 100 days, right? What were that like? How did you overcome those challenges at that time? And was the idea that you're working on today the same that you started on day 0? So we'll start with that and then we'll take it from there.
So firstly, I think the idea was same. The vision was exactly what it is today. It has, I think the products and categories have evolved, but just as a backstory, I used to work as a product manager for PayPal.
Yeah.
And I was working on launching PayPal in several global countries because North America, they were already big when I used to work there. And after that, I thought, yeah, this is incremental for me. I should do something more fundamental. And so the vision was this only, that why is India being such a fast and developing country? Why is access to finance and payments is the least common denominator in finance? Like, if you don't have digital payments, you have no transactions. If you have no transactions, there's no opportunity of credit or investing or anything else. Everything comes after transactions. So, and at that time, India used to have 3% digital payments or some number like that. So that was the idea that, want to make a difference, want to make sure that everybody has access to it. Let's democratize payments and therefore then democratize finance in itself, financial services. And the reason the vision is same is, most of us are, actually I interviewed quite a few people, so I'm very happy to see that there are people from smaller cities and towns who have taken the plunge, moved to big cities, gotten some exposure.
MobiKwik just recruited 2 of the PGP students in the founder's office.
Yes.
That's what she's talking about.
Yes, but I was going to say that what we don't realize sitting here in the city is that even today, 90% of India does not have access to financial services.
90%.
90%. The math is very simple. Country of 1.3, 1.35 billion. Today, 450 to 500 million Indians are transacting digitally. Payments. With all of our work and our competitors put together, that's still only less than 500 million India.
But that's the adults and like the people in that age group.
हाँ, but अब kids भी निकाल दो तो अभी market अभी double होगा, 800, 850 होगा. Just payments. When you talk about access to credit, that number is less than 100 million. When you talk about people who are investing, including FD and gold, that number is also sub 100 million. Insurance तो भूल ही जाओ.
Stock market.
सब कुछ उसके पीछे है. So I'm just saying that despite everything that has happened in the last 10-15 years in terms of fintech, you know, having become, India is now the third largest fintech market in the world. उसके बाद भी ये हाल है. So there's a lot more runway
The
for
कहानी
growth.
शुरू हुई है.
So therefore the vision is same, but we've established MobiKwik as a leader in some spaces, as a sort of 10 to 100 player in other spaces, and then in some other places we are still in the 0 to 10 journey. So therefore the larger vision is same: democratize access to financial services and products. And our target continues to be the massy India, like people who are making between 25 to 60,000 rupees per month. That's my target base, because they have an account, they have a bank account, mostly with a government bank, PSU bank, and they don't have access to any product outside of the bank account. So that's why the vision is same. But I want to answer your other question, which is
First 100 days.
100 days. So पहले तो दोस्तों, the fact that you're talking about 100 days itself is amazing, because when I started 100 days में कुछ नहीं होता था. तब बात होती थी कि एक साल तो जलाना पड़ेगा before you get anywhere.
Website बनाने में 3 महीने लग जाएंगे.
And we are a payments company, so our back-end supply chain partner is a bank. So I still remember I spent from the beginning of the year, maybe Feb or March में मैंने start किया था. And by September, October, I had
2010.
No, we started in 2009.
Okay.
So 2009, we started the company, started the wallet, and then we needed a bank for loading the wallet for our payment gateway. And so next year, in 2010 early, I started talking to one of the top private banks. They took 9 months. They gave me a sort of a term sheet like document, which has all the key terms. फिर वो agree कर लिया, उसका agreement आ गया. And I was like, amazing, दिवाली पे agreement sign हो जाएगा, integration live हो जाएगा अगले 1 महीने में. You know what? They reneged and they backed out of it. So 10 months of my life and my trips to Bombay all gone down the drain. And firstly, they didn't tell me that we are not doing it. So I went to Bombay after several calls, etc. I went to their offices, sat with the guys who had given the offer. I'm like, what's going on? कभी बोल रहे हो MD sign नहीं कर रहा है, कभी ये approval पे गया है. I mean, इतना भी time नहीं लग सकता, right? It's been a month. How can you not sign a document? And if you don't want to do it, just tell me. Don't waste my time. So that used to be a big problem in India. I don't know if still is. People are not direct. People don't say yes or no. ऐसे घुमाते रहते हैं. So
and this is a private bank, not
this
even
is a private bank. That's why I told you, top private bank. Finally, I figured out कि ये नहीं करेंगे.
Top or second to top?
Top. I figured out कि ये नहीं करेंगे. And you know what I did? I called my co-founder Bipin and I said कि, you know, I'm going to the mall. I'm buying clothes. I'm not coming back to Delhi. He's like, क्यों, क्या हो गया? I said they've backed out. ये नहीं होने वाला. और मैं वापस दिल्ली नहीं आऊंगी जब तक मैं बैंक साइन करके नहीं आऊंगी. Next day morning, I started cold calling, taking meetings, कुछ भी करके नहीं, my life depends on it. नहीं, मैं बहुत बीमार हूँ, लेकिन I have to meet you, आज कल में मिलो, and all that jing bang I did. And I want to tell you that मैंने same week में second private bank के साथ वो deal sign कर ली. और 1 महीने में हमने live भी कर दिया.
तो हो गया 1 महीने में,
हो
but
गया.
different bank.
So long story short, grit चाहिए, patience चाहिए, and you guys are lucky because the startup and internet revolution in India has happened in such a big way in the last 10-15 years. When I started, half the time people were joking that, you know, what are you trying to do? India is a cash country. यहाँ पे digital payments होएगा ही नहीं. So I want to say that it's good that we are talking in days now and not in years, because it used to take years to get something off the ground a decade.
Fair. So the first 100 days or the first 10 months just went in finding that bank.
Correct.
Who would underwrite. What happened in that 1 week? Just tell me, like with the second bank that you signed, what was the story?
What happened in that 1 week is now I'd gone through that experience. So I knew exactly what are the important topics to be discussed. And everything else, all the other TNC is like fine print bullshit. You need to know 4 चीजें क्या है जो उनके लिए important है और हमारे लिए important है.
कौन decision maker है?
हाँ,
कौन
and
वो
stick
है?
to those. And the other thing that happened is that I was at a significant back foot, right? Like, you think about it, like, in that situation, you are the Dhoni for your company, and now all of a sudden you have a big blowback, and you're against the wall. So your conviction is even stronger कि नहीं करना है. I have to get it done. Yeah, do or die. That's why I said मैं तो आऊंगी नहीं वापस दिल्ली. मैं तो वहीं पे रहूंगी जब तक ये solve नहीं होगा. I just made that promise to myself. So when your back is against the wall, then
Then
you
you'll do whatever it
hustle in
takes.
a different level of degree. And I think that is the difference between, BAU versus sort of really making an impact.
BAU?
Business as usual.
Business as usual. Okay. All right.
It's a term I hate. Like people use it within different organizations. And I think that's the difference between business as usual versus
A war room situation.
war room. All hands on deck. Total ownership. That's sort of how I think.
Okay, so then you got the integration live and you started with a payment gateway,
Yeah.
basic payment gateway,
We started with a wallet.
the wallet.
We had started with a wallet. We were using, at that time, जो भी payment gateways available थे in the market, they were not Razorpay and all the names you know. They were the older generation names. So we had signed up with them. We were using them, but उसमें success rate हमारा 33% था.
Transaction success rate.
So yeah, so if Pratham has signed up for a MobiKwik wallet, and if you want to load money from your bank account in the wallet, 100 में से 33 times ही आप successful हो गए. And I was like, this is pathetic. ये तो नहीं चलेगा. At least people should be able to add money, and then only they can spend it in all the places for their bills, e-commerce, etc. So हमें अपना बनाना चाहिए. अपना बनाने के लिए you need a pipe from the bank. So this is
Correct.
that pipe that I was talking.
Got it. And then wallets, were you the first ones to set up wallets or the concept of wallets in India at that time? 2009, around that?
We were, and we had 2 other players who started right after us, maybe 6 to 9 months after.
Paytm?
Freecharge and then Paytm. They both
Got it.
started 6 to 9 months after us. I think we all got sort of, people were thinking about it at the same time, but we got started first. So to that extent, जब मैं कभी किताब लिखूंगी तो I'll write OG of wallets.
Got it. And then from wallet to super app, that journey has been 15 years now.
Yeah.
What would you say are the 2 or 3 inflection points in that journey that really defined MobiKwik as it stands today?
Okay, 2 or 3 inflection points. So see, the first thing is that I said the first year was, rough and slow. Second year was also a little bit improvement, but no amazing exponential growth. Users we were getting organically. People were liking the product, using it, etc. I think the interesting part was that this business did not have a license. And in 2012, Reserve Bank of India said that prepaid wallet ke licenses honge. And we were very worried कि हमें मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा, because other people applying were like Airtel had applied, Airtel Money. So when we got the license in 2013, and we all got it at the same time, like 5 days, 10 days apart from each other, we got it, Paytm got it, Airtel Money got it. That was a big validation. तब तक तो I was not even sure whether this would go somewhere. But by that time, we had some maybe 2-3 million users. We had a license from RBI, which only few players had. And we had at least 10 crores of users float sitting in the account. So that gave us the validation कि अब यहाँ तक पहुँच गए हैं तो 2 million से 20 million users भी पहुँच जाएंगे. I think that was one big confidence building thing. We were also bootstrapped, so making revenue was important for us. And to make revenue, we were also doing B2B bill payments. We were offering that service to several players who wanted bill payments का API. तो उससे revenue आ रहा था. वो revenue से ही हम अपने आप को भी और जो team थी सबको salaries भी pay कर रहे थे. So that's sort of how we bootstrapped the company, got the license.
वो जो पहले 2 लाख या 20 लाख customers you said,
हाँ.
वो कैसे आए? आपने बोला अपना बात, organically कैसे आते हैं?
Organically आप website डालो, उस पे बहुत सारा SEO करो, keywords लिखो, अच्छा content लिखो.
So SEO was initially. So what were they searching for? What were the keywords?
Airtel bill payment, Docomo bill payment, or whatever, Delhi Jal Board bill payment, BSES payment, and even today. So I don't know about others, right? But even today, 75 to 80% of our user acquisition for the last several years, पहले तो 100% होता था. Now for several years, 80% of our user acquisition is organic, completely free. We spend only for the last.
People search for the payments that they want to do, and then they find your app, and then got it.
So if you are in the top results, not in the AdWords ka results, but the organic free results, if you're number 1, number 2, then you will automatically get a lot of free traffic. And let's say you started out with making a Jharkhand Electricity Board bill payment. आपने search किया, आपको पहला result मिला, Play Store में किया या Google browser में किया. If you found it as a first result, we clicked on it, you downloaded the app, you did the payment. The important thing is that whatever you needed the app for, were you able to complete it? If you were able to complete that transaction successfully, then you're mine. Like that.
So then, two things then. One is ki, of course, you said 5, 6 other players were coming the same time, and आप bootstrapped थे. I'm guessing some of them had raised at that time. Some of them were probably doing large campaigns. Airtel, of course. So number one, how did you compete? And I'm sure उनका भी SEO ठीक ही होगा. मतलब बुरा तो उनका भी नहीं होगा. And the second is कि in this payments business, at that time you hadn't launched credit, is my guess, right?
Yeah, we had.
तो 3% की ट्रांजैक्शन पे फिर 1% बचता है, उसका फिर 0.1% बचता है. सो वो फनल में पैसे बनते कैसे हैं?
तो पैसे बनते ऐसे हैं, मतलब तब भी बनते थे, अभी भी बनते हैं. एंड ये मिथ है कि पेमेंट्स में पैसा नहीं है. पेमेंट्स में मार्जिन कम है, ठीक है. सो ऑफ कोर्स इज मार्जिन कम है, तो मार्जिन आपका 1% के रेंज में होता है. डिपेंडिंग ऑन द पेमेंट मेथड 1 हो सकता है, 1.5 हो सकता है. उस टाइम पे क्रेडिट कार्ड पेमेंट्स पे अच्छा पैसा होता था, तो आवर ओवरऑल MDR would have been 1.5%. So if I'm doing a GMV of whatever, right now we do, let's say 12,000 crore per month. उस टाइम पे अगर 1.5% था, then over a period of time UPI आया तो वो कम हुआ, तो blended take rate अभी भी 1% पड़ता है.
GMV का?
हाँ, because you have credit card, you have debit card, you have net banking, you have wallet, you have prepaid card,
तो वो blended
and
average.
UPI अगर फ्री भी है तो बाकी सब में तो आप इनफ बना रहे हो, तो आपका blended 1% बन रहा है.
तो 1% आपका रेवेन्यू काउंट होगा.
करेक्ट.
टेक्निकली
और वो 1% रेवेन्यू में से हम 20% कंट्रीब्यूशन मार्जिन बनाते हैं,
ठीक.
जिसको आप CM2 या कुछ भी बोल सकते हो. उसके नीचे फिक्स कॉस्ट है, पीपल कॉस्ट है, AWS कॉस्ट है, और कुछ नहीं है. जो भी पेमेंट्स का डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट है, वेदर इट इज द कॉस्ट ऑफ लोडिंग द मनी. सो फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ लेट्स से यू लोडेड योर वॉलेट विद अ डेबिट कार्ड, आई लोडेड इट वाया UPI, तो UPI में मेरा कॉस्ट 0 है. बट अगर आपने डेबिट कार्ड से लोड किया तो मेरा कॉस्ट 0.9% है. अगर आपने क्रेडिट कार्ड से लोड किया तो मेरा कॉस्ट 1.5 या 1.6 है. सो दैट इज द डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट. एंड अदर देन दैट देयर इज यूजर इंसेंटिव्स, कैशबैक्स. दीज आर द टू डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट इन पेमेंट्स. So 1% net of these two, I still make 20%. And we, since we are a public company, all our earnings numbers are public now. So you can see that we've been making that very easily for the last 2-3 years. So payments में पैसा बनता है. अगर नहीं बनता होता तो PayPal का कहाँ से business बन गया? Square or what is called Block. How do they make money? Big chunk core revenue comes from payments only. Everything else is on top of that.
And US में that the take rate would be higher, right?
Slightly higher, yes, because they don't have UPI.
Interesting. And competition, Airtel.
So Airtel, so see, competition, overall, even today I believe that competition doesn't matter. Why? Because the market is not saturated. The pie is still expanding. Like I said, if even today there are 450 million Indians who are transacting as consumers, that number is going to double to 800, 850. On the merchant side, what is the dukandar, the kirana store, total number of merchants who are accepting digital payments is roughly in the 40-45 million range. That number is also expected to double in the next 4-5 years. So the pie is so large even today. At that time, the pie was so large because everything was on cash. So I was like, दूसरों के बारे में क्या चिंता करें? There's so much to be, caught up. And see, I was never worried about incumbents, whether they are banks or telcos or whatever, because it has been proven out. I don't want to boast, but it has been proven out. Whether you see in wallet or whether you see in UPI. Top की rankings में कौन सा बैंक या telco है? कोई नहीं है. See, the DNA of being a consumer internet, app-driven company is very different from the DNA of a bank or a telco, for that matter. But I didn't mention the other inflection point.
That was one inflection point.
The second inflection, so after that, we I think 2014 or 15, we received incoming money, Series A, from what is now called Peak 15, and at that time was called Sequoia Capital. So we were like, okay, ये तो बढ़िया है. अब now, license भी है, users भी है, product market fit भी है, capital भी आ गया, तो हम scale करेंगे. करने लग गए और grow कर लिया. एक साल बाद हमने Series B भी raise किया. Again, I didn't even leave Gurgaon for that. Like both the meetings happened in Delhi NCR. I think that meeting was right here in Oberoi or Trident next door for Series B. Investor was global investor who had flown in. We met them over lunch and couple of meetings later, paise aa gaye. Now here's where the catch is. So this was more serious money. I'm forgetting the exact number, but let's say 15 million, 17 million kuch hoga. Series A was 2.5, 3 million, something like that. Of course, dollar rupee rates bhi alag the. But anyway, तो सीरीज भी लेके हम और आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. Like we are scaling faster on users. Bill payments as a category scaling, e-commerce we were growing, and we were thinking about अब offline में जाएं क्या करें. Then 2015 came. Okay, 2015 came, and that was a big inflection point because remember, for the first 2 rounds, we didn't even have to step outside of Delhi NCR. And for Series C also, we had signed term sheets from some investor in Singapore. And by this time, we also had a leadership team, 2-3 CXOs for business, marketing, tech, etc. And my co-founder Bipin was also there. And over the course of starting the company, 3 years after we started the company, we also got married to each other, which is not advisable, by the way. Don't do that. Pehle soch lo. But regardless, so 2015, we have a term sheet. I'm like, ab ye close ho jayegi. And I took a maternity break. Okay. 8th day of my maternity break, the term sheet got pulled back. I was like, अब क्या होगा? कितने पैसे हैं हमारे पास? Maybe 6 months, 8 months खींच लेंगे. ये तो यार, this is like मुश्किल है. And at the same time, what happened is that payment bank and small finance bank licenses were announced by RBI, which we didn't want, by the way. But the same investors that we had been speaking to for Series C, which were now sort of next level investors, they had pinged us.
जिन्होंने मना कर दिया था.
हाँ, जिन्होंने मना कर दिया था, और उनके साथ साथ और भी जिनसे बात कर रहे थे कि यार ऑप्शन वैल्यू के लिए ले लो. We were like, हमने बिजनेस मॉडल बनाया है, like think about it, बैंक है, बैंक लोगों से डिपॉजिट्स लेता है. डिपॉजिट पे पैसे बनते नहीं है, मतलब इट्स जस्ट कॉस्ट, आपका कैपिटल आ गया. अब आगे आप उसको लोन्स दोगे तो पैसे बनाओगे ना, अदरवाइज हाउ विल यू मेक मनी? एंड द गाइडलाइन सेड यू कांट लेंड मनी. So we're like, we don't want to apply. So they forced our hand कि ऑप्शन वैल्यू के लिए अप्लाई कर दो. तो हमने किया अप्लाई.
ऑप्शन वैल्यू क्या होता है?
ऑप्शन वैल्यू होता है कि ठीक है, आज उसका काम नहीं है, बट अगर आपको वो लाइसेंस के लिए अप्लाई करने के कोई पैसे तो लग नहीं रहे हैं, एक डॉक्यूमेंट बनाना है, 5-10 दिन लगा के डॉक्यूमेंट बना के अप्लाई कर दो. अगर लाइसेंस मिल गया तो पड़ा रहेगा, मतलब आपके पास 1-2 साल का टाइम होता है उसको एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए. अगर तब तक कुछ सेंस बन गया एग्जीक्यूट करने का तो कर लोगे, नहीं हुआ तो कोई बात नहीं. इट्स नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम टू हैव समथिंग व्हिच यू डोंट नीड. इट्स लाइक हैविंग एन एक्स्ट्रा कार व्हिच यू मे और मे नॉट नीड.
I thought about the university license also.
So the point I was getting to is that we didn't get the license. So now that's a problem because now you're hitting the road asking people for money and they're like, ये कंपनी को लाइसेंस क्यों नहीं मिला? ऐसा कुछ नहीं था कि क्यों नहीं मिला. Maybe we were too small. The other people who had applied was Reliance, Jio had applied, again Airtel had applied, and I think from our fintech sector, only one of the large players got the license. So we were not unhappy about it, but the investors were very worried about it. So it was very hard to raise money. So now I have a 10-15-day-old child, and I'm not going to the office because I'm struggling as a new mother also, like massively struggling. क्योंकि प्लानिंग तो की नहीं थी, लास्ट डे तक काम कर रहे थे, सोचा ही नहीं कि अब आगे के लिए भी थोड़ा सोच लेते हैं क्या चीजें चाहिए होगी, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. एंड आई हैव हस्बैंड / co-founder on planes all over the world, Singapore, Hong Kong, London, Menlo Park, New York, and साथ में strategy guy also, and a couple of other people are running the business. But it's it's very hard for you. Started a company 6 years ago. And you never struggled to raise money. Now you are struggling to raise money. Remember, दिल्ली से बाहर नहीं गए पैसे रेज करने, और अब 7 समुंदर पार घूम रहे हैं और पैसे मिल नहीं रहे हैं easily. Same time, Paytm also raised money from Alibaba. So all these things are stacking up. It's making it harder for people to invest in the other player. क्योंकि अब लाइसेंस भी नहीं मिला, दूसरी पार्टी ने बहुत रेज कर लिया, कैसे compete करोगे? So it was a hard situation. So it really shook our confidence कि यार what have we done? We should have not spent so much on growth. थोड़ा extra पैसा रखना चाहिए था runway के लिए. And we could have literally run out of money, so to speak. We didn't run out. I'm sitting here today to tell you. But it was one of those, you're again backed up against the wall situation, and it's like all hands on deck. अब क्या करें? And I felt like I was also handicapped because I was not getting to travel or add value in that way. But we made it work. You know how we made it work? I told Bipin that and the strategy team that you guys continue to work on equity. I'm going to work with the finance team, and we are going to raise some debt. आज तक कभी डेट रेस नहीं किया है, बट मैंने मन बना लिया कि बस डेट रेस करना है, डेट रेस करेंगे, उससे हमें 6 महीने और मिल जाएंगे। बाय दैट टाइम ये जितने भी ग्लोबल ट्रिप्स चल रहे हैं उसमें से कुछ ना कुछ तो आ जाएगा। So that was not the time when bankers like to do Zoom calls, etc. You know, they like कि हमारा headquarter बॉम्बे में है और बॉम्बे में आके मिलो, and investors को भी वही चाहिए, debt investors। But I convinced them, new mom, 15-day-old child, 20-day-old child, कुछ तो आप, I'll come and meet you, but let's get somewhere first, all of that। किया, and 2-2.5 महीने लगे, but हमें debt मिल गया। एक मेजर प्राइवेट बैंक से ही मिल गया, which itself was a big achievement because remember we were growing at a fast pace, we were massively loss
फ्लोट पे
making।
डेट नहीं मिल सकता, ऐसा कुछ इंस्ट्रूमेंट नहीं होता?
That float is not yours, ना, it's users, you are holding it for the user, it's a liability।
हाँ, पर उसके
हाँ, मतलब उसको देख के कंफर्ट मिल रहा है लोगों को, but they can't really lean market or anything because it's not your money, it's your users' money that you are a custodian of। So then they have to look at your P&L and balance sheet। अब balance sheet में तो equity erode हो रही है,
हाँ,
और लॉस मेकिंग हो, मैसिवली लॉस मेकिंग हो। सो मतलब साल में 10x ग्रो कर रहे हो तो लॉस मेकिंग तो होने की बात है। बट एनीवे कन्विंस कर लिया कि देखो इस प्रोडक्ट में हम पैसे बनाते हैं, हम आपका पैसा यहीं पे यूज करेंगे, वर्किंग कैपिटल में यूज करेंगे, एक्सेट्रा।
उसको सेक्शन कर,
हाँ, करेक्ट। यू ब्रेक द बिजनेस एंड शो द कैटेगरीज वेयर यू आर मेकिंग लॉस एंड द कैटेगरीज वेयर यू आर रनिंग इट प्रॉफिटेबली। सो वी डिड दैट, दैट गेव अस द रनवे, एंड आई थिंक 2015 अगस्त से ये पूरा sort of, what should I say, the great international trip chal rahe the, and I think April or May of 2016 we finally raised Series C।
almost 6-7 महीने लगे।
And we got some money from Taiwan and Japan, no less, and then uske baad we raised another significant round, Series C2 हमने उसको नाम दे दिया, maybe 30-35 million from a South African investor just 2-3 months later। So see, वो सारी मेहनत काम आई। It is just that कभी-कभी it's not about just your story and where you are in your pitching skills or your, it's also about where the world is, markets क्या है, sentiment क्या है, macro क्या है। When Bipin and the strategy team were flying all around in August, September, the sentiment was so much stacked against us, it was extremely hard। Then we said कि हम business को अच्छा और करके दिखाएंगे 1-2 महीने, debt use करेंगे, and then we'll go back to those investors later in the year around Diwali, and they did that, and therefore next year we were able to raise money। So that was the second sort of key inflection point। It was almost dead type of situation, and we came back from death। It's like वो movies में नहीं दिखाते, आप कोमा में हो, आप आधा heaven में हो, आधा life में हो, that kind of situation।
Very interesting. Okay, and then of course what was it, demonetization happened. That must have been the third one then.
Demonetization happened, and right after that, I think demonetization was end of 16, 8 November 2016, and massive calls from government and everyone कि हर petrol pump पे लगाओ, हर LPG पे QR लगाओ, सब कुछ, like, and we had just gotten started with offline just before demonetization। We were not operating at such a scale at some other players, we had just gotten started, so we had to rapidly build everything। Like I remember everybody in the team was working 7 days a week, कोई संडे नहीं, forget about Saturday, कोई संडे नहीं, पागलों की तरह काम हो रहा है, सब कुछ कर रहे हैं। मर्चेंट ऐप नहीं है, मर्चेंट ऐप बनाओ, मर्चेंट सेटलमेंट में इतने घंटे लग रहे हैं, उसको स्ट्रीमलाइन करो, मर्चेंट ऑनबोर्डिंग को इजी करो, सब कुछ बनाया, किया। एंड 2017, 6 months later, we were like, पता नहीं कितने ऑफिस भी लॉन्च किए, 5-6 ऑफिस लॉन्च किए, एंड देन आई एम द CFO ऑफ द कंपनी, हैव बीन फॉर द एंटायर टाइम। आई लाइक यार क्यों कर रहे हैं, ये क्यों कर रहे हैं, हम पैसे जला रहे हैं, दिस इज नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क आउट, एंड मर्चेंट रिटेंशन तो इतना हो नहीं ना, रेवेन्यू इतना आ नहीं रहा, व्हाई आर वी scaling so much? Doesn't matter what the world is telling you, how much the government is putting pressure, we have to do it, we are a business, we have to think about it। And we realized we wasted too much money, should have gone slower in scaling up, and वो पैसा कभी वापस नहीं आने वाला। And we also realized then markets also started softening। 17-18 again there was almost like a, जो अभी 22-23 में था, क्या बोलते हैं उसको,
Slump, cold।
हाँ, like same thing, winter, funding winter।
sorry।
Yeah, there was a funding winter in 17-18 also। But at that time we were a little smarter, we were not in that 2015 situation, we applied the brakes at the right time, and we raised a little bit of money also. And in 17, 18, I still remember we said that ये तो सब होता रहेगा, this is crazy, like you know आप अच्छे से कुछ बना रहे हो, then something happens, like Demon happened, and then आपको पता ही नहीं था you will need so much money. Similarly, few years before that, what had happened is that for wallet you had a digital Aadhaar based KYC, and then RBI said now you have to do a full KYC, just like banks do. And we are like, cost of KYC इतना बढ़ गया,
बढ़ जाएगा.
and then you have 12 months to do it for all your existing users. And I think we had some, I think 50, 60 million users at that time. Like, that's like a lot of money. Like, even if it is $1, then that's a lot of money, which I have not raised. How am I going to do it in 12 months? So then we realized that we are in fintech. Fintech in India is very regulated. And, you know, we can't read the regulators or the government's mind. So we decided that we have to find a way to always build the business in a positive contribution margin and then eventually profitable. Because otherwise, this whole thing, every few years, being on planes trying to raise money or being under pressure because you don't have enough capital, it's not going to work. So this was the main realization, and I think I want to tell you that I think 17 end में हमने decide किया, and sometime like in 12 to 15 months, we actually achieved it. I think we were the first payments company to say that we are profitable at contribution level. And that itself was an achievement, and that made me realize कि बस सोचना है, अगर आपने सोच लिया तो आप कर लोगे. You will find a way to inculcate that culture. It's not easy because remember in the market, most employees, team members, they are gunning for, बाकी सब startups तो बोल रहे grow at all costs, grow at all costs. How do you get your team to buy into your vision that we are going to grow, but at half the budget? Whatever budget you had, with half the budget. And we kept doing it every month, almost every quarter. The ask for the business team was, for example, let's say e-commerce payments. E-commerce payments for us is a category where, let's say you're buying on Zomato or Swiggy or Blinkit or Make My Trip. So you'll see MobiKwik as a checkout option. So that's the e-commerce category. Every time people pay via MobiKwik in the e-commerce category. So every quarter we tell them that अब आपको इस 30% grow करना है, but आपका जो user incentives का kitty है, वो 30% कम कर दिया है. So now we build it as a DNA, and I think it was on the back of starting that in 18-19 that you know we were able to survive COVID and the years after COVID. Like COVID was another big jolt, inflection point, dire straits, but we came out of it super strong without having. उसकी भी एक कहानी है. I don't know whether I should say it or not.
Please, अब बोल दिया आपने.
फंस गए, खुद ही अपने आप को फंसा दिया. Okay, so I was just saying, right, it was kind of a funding winter going on in 18-19. So I think we had last raised money in 16-17 only, around Demon. And after that, we had not raised money, and we were trying to bring the business to a positive contribution margin and say that after that, we'll get money from these sort of more sensible growth investors who are not, their ask is not growth at all costs. Their ask is a company that will build a sustainable model and will eventually IPO. So, ये हमने mind बना लिया. So, we were doing very well, and because we were almost break even at that time, we had also launched the credit distribution business at the same time in 18. Early 18, I actually started the credit business, and उसका भी हमें 19 में दिख रहा था outcome. So, towards the end of 2019, I remember Christmas, New Year, I was very happy because Diwali I spent alone in New York. I had gone to meet an investor who was sort of toying with us for several months, but was not signing anything. So I went to their office, New York, and I made some bahana why I'm in New York. I had gone there to visit my sister something, and I said, just want to come in and see you guys. And I realized that just meeting with the partners closed the deal. Next day term sheet आ गई, और rather उधर ही उन्हीं के office में जाके मैंने sign भी कर दी. And so I was like, very good. So that was about $40 million. This was Series F, and we had thought of it as a last round, and अब इसके बाद IPO करेंगे. And right behind them, this was a New York-based fund. Right behind them, few days later, we got a term sheet from a big DFI. And we got another term sheet from another European investor. So now this whole kitty was getting sort of like almost $80 million or $90 million I had signed up. So due diligence चल रहा है. And वो due diligence खत्म होते होते Feb हो गया. Feb 2020. And we are trying to push खत्म करो खत्म. हमें नहीं पता है COVID आने वाला है. In general, let's wrap it. And you won't believe this is a true story, okay? And I'm not talking about term sheet, but full shareholder agreement and share subscription agreement, which all your existing shareholders have to sign. Everything got signed by, I think, 4th or 5th of March. Okay. Now the only thing left is that the investor has to wire
Wire
them.
the money, yeah.
First investor, the New York investor, जो पीछे वाले investor हैं वो उनके बाद में पीछे चल रहे हैं, 30 days, 15 days उनका पीछे चल रहा है process. And India में I remember मोदी जी ने 20th March को I think COVID call कर लिया था.
19th March.
Something like that. But US में उससे पहले हो गया था. So Nasdaq started crashing in the second week of March. So that investor backed out. We couldn't believe it. Our shareholders, Bajaj Finance, Sequoia, they couldn't believe it कि ये कैसे कोई कर सकता है. They signed definitive documents. So they said आप इनको सिंगापुर arbitration में ले जाओ. पहले try करो, negotiate करो कि maybe पूरा नहीं तो आधा अभी दे दे, आधा बाद में दे देना. ये है वो है. We tried everything. They didn't agree. They wasted more time. So they backed out. तो उनके पीछे जो थे वो भी तो back out करेंगे because lead investor has backed out. And we have not raised any money since 2017. So, and we were doing well, but we didn't have too much surplus. We had no surplus actually. We were running hand to mouth कि अब एक साथ बड़ी deal close होगी. अब deal चली गई, अब COVID आ गया, and what is it? Total lockdown हो गया. Essential services चल रही है सिर्फ. And if people are not going to office, then they're not buying clothes. They are not going to watch movies on Book My Show or whatever. So all discretionary spend, travel, everything is gone, right? So the payments business is down. Lending business is down to zero because nobody wants to give loans. Everybody knows कि सब लोग default करेंगे because people will lose their jobs, etc., etc. So we're like, यार ये तो बहुत ही खराब हालत है. Like, how are we going to manage? Like, lending revenue gone, payments revenue at 50%, and no money in the bank because सारा money गया. And we are fighting with them in the court, etc. But we knew कि ये तो नहीं होगा. That was a last inflection point, so to speak. And
तो निकले कैसे उसे?
हाँ?
निकले कैसे उस सिचुएशन से?
निकले कैसे? पहले तो 1-2 दिन परेशान हुए, डिप्रेस हुए, वो सब कर लिया. I don't know, beer, wine, whiskey, कुछ पी ली. And then we made up our mind कि नहीं हमें इसमें से निकलना है और वो ये राउंड हो या ना हो हमें इससे निकलना है. And we are going to be fully profitable, not just CM profitable. And we are going to do an IPO also in the next couple of years. ये हमने sort of प्रण ले लिया, शपथ ले ली like that. Zoom call या Google Meet पे शपथ ले ली core team के साथ. And we made up our mind कि हम पैसा कहाँ से लाएंगे. We also made up our mind that we will save money. We will not fire anyone. We took that call. We will not fire anyone. We will save money everywhere else. We don't want to fire anyone because we knew that medical insurance is very important. And all employees have medical insurance for themselves and their family. So we want them to have that cover. If required, we'll do pay cuts. No variable, no increments. Salaries also we'll agree to whatever is that number depending on the level of the person. Senior people will take more cut, junior people will take lesser cut. But the main thing is that we will use this time to improve productivity, to build new products so that when we come out of COVID, we will bounce back with revenue. So that was one call. सेव करना है तो सब किया, लैंडलॉर्ड्स के साथ लड़ा, रेंट नहीं देंगे, नहीं चाहिए प्रॉपर्टी, उसको लीज खत्म करो, जितनी भी फिक्स कॉस्ट बचा सकते थे बचाए, कैसे भी करके ऑप्टिमाइज किए. एंड वी रियलाइज दैट वी हैड अ in finance, I hope all of you have learned a little bit of finance in your courses. There's something called कि आपका receivable है. So we checked ये हमारा account payable तो हम देखते रहते हैं, account receivable क्या है. And I want to tell you that उतनी बारीकी से in that much detail I had never looked at it. So every day we had a 2-hour call, I and one VP and couple of senior people in finance. हम अपना Google Drive पे हमने बना लिया था, अलग-अलग सबने responsibilities ले ली थी. And we realized कि हमारे पास 50 crores का accounts receivable है from all the leading banks of India.
कॉल करना शुरू करो.
So I said that all of us, the core finance team, we are going to become collection agents. किसी को नहीं छोड़ा हमने. And I was also personally, we called HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Kotak, हमारा ये, see generally क्या होता है कि businesses में people have 30-day, 60-day, 90-day payment terms, and all these banks, I'm not trying to say anything bad about them, सबका process होता है कि 90 days पे ही pay करेंगे या बाद में ही pay करेंगे. So we started calling them, and not finance. We started calling our business counterparts. Like I would call the right person and say, "यार हम आपके साथ 3 साल से काम कर रहे हैं, 5 साल से काम कर रहे हैं. You are such a big bank. नहीं हमारा भी तो revenue गया." मैंने कहा, "You are such a big bank, यार. What are you talking about? मेरी तो company बंद हो जाएगी. कुछ तो निकालो. Like if you owe us 10 crores, कुछ तो निकालो. अभी कुछ इस महीने निकालना, कुछ अगले महीने निकालो. But हमें चाहिए. Otherwise, it will not work out, and then I will come in your bad dreams forever. That because of you, my company is dead." तो ऐसे कर करके निकाला, and everybody did it. I remember सिर्फ येस बैंक को हमने बख्श दिया because येस बैंक का अपना ही there also I told them कि यार हमारी थोड़ी गलती है, तो they said please एक क्वार्टर रुक जाओ, हम आपको मई जून में देखेंगे, अभी हमारी अपनी लग रही है. But we collected a lot of our regular accounts receivable from all of these banks. This is regular business receivable, and उस पे ही हमने कंपनी चलाई. And I want to tell you a number. कोविड से पिछला वाला ईयर था, कोविड वाज 2020, राइट? तो FY20 व्हिच इज 2019-20 जो ईयर है, उसमें हमारा रेवेन्यू 370 करोड़ था. ओके, कोविड के फर्स्ट 6 मंथ्स तो वॉश है बिकॉज लेंडिंग इज जीरो एंड पेमेंट्स इज लाइक एट 30% एंड देन 40% रेवेन्यू. सो आई थिंक अगस्त में बिजनेस चालू हो गया हमारा. एंड हमने बहुत कुछ इनोवेटिव भी बना लिया लेंडिंग में, ताकि जैसे ही आएगा वी विल हिट द रोड रनिंग, सो टू स्पीक. सो वी डिडंट वेस्ट एनी ऑफ दोस डेज. द होल टीम वाज वर्किंग वेरी हार्ड. तो हमने 7 या 8 महीने में, अगस्त से काउंट कर लो या सितंबर से काउंट कर लो, 7.5 months में हमने 300 crores रेवेन्यू कर लिया, which was not same as last year, but वो 12 months का 370 था और हमने 7 months में कमा लिया हमने. That was a big victory. उससे बहुत जोश और कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्डिंग हुआ एंटायर टीम के लिए, because if we build
strengthen हो गई.
हाँ, कंपनी स्ट्रेंथन हो गई. People also started believing कि yeah, if we put a mind to it, we can do it. And I think that sort of really created the next level growth journey of MobiKwik, so to speak. उसके बाद हमने फिर घूम के देखा,
सारी क्लीनिंग हो गई कंपनी की, सारा फैट कट हो गया, सारा ये हो गया, वो
सारे बेकार प्रोजेक्ट्स बंद करा दिए, सब कुछ फैट बहुत सारा हटा दिया. And then we were on this thing कि अब हमें पता था कि अगले साल हम डबल करेंगे या close to double करेंगे. And then we kept growing. Every year we kept growing 60%.
Huge blessing in disguise in a way.
Yeah. And I remember that year, we were going to get $80-90 million and we didn't get anything. And then at Diwali, we raised a small round from no less than Infosys के एक co-founder है Chris Gopalakrishnan. उनके family office से हमने raise किया था 10 करोड़. एंड मुझे याद है कि कोविड में घर से पक्के फ्लैट में काम कर करके वी गॉट बोर्ड, सो went to Himachal and I was living in Himachal in a rented house and working from there for 2-3 months. तो वहां से क्लोज किया दिवाली पे, मुझे याद है. And I'm telling you, वो 10 करोड़ रेस करके मेरे को उतनी खुशी नहीं हुई जितनी मेरे को आज तक जितने भी बड़े बड़े राउंड्स करके हुई. That was like validation because they also saw the same thing कि यार they could see 3 months के numbers. ये कंपनी 0 से 3 months में इतना कुछ कर लिया इन्होंने. So I think obstacles and being resource constrained and having your back against the wall, are moments of reflection. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, as Kelly Clarkson said.
And then I think around the same time Paytm went public.
21 next year, yeah.
The following year Paytm went public and they started and they had their journey,
yeah,
of course. Yeah. And I think in the middle of their journey you went public. No. Or at the fag end of their journey in a way.
Well, I think let there not be an end to anyone's journey. I want all companies to do well, but I'll clarify the timing. So this is 2020 I spoke about. 21, early 21, everybody heard that Zomato is filing and they want to go public. And 21 summer Zomato went public. And many other companies started thinking of filing. We also started thinking in Jan-Feb only, preparing for it. It's a crash course of another level in finance and sort of governance structures, etc. to get listed. And we also filed in the summer. We filed, Policy Bazaar filed as in you have to file with SEBI, a draft prospectus. Paytm also filed. Interestingly, they got the approval before us.
Right.
And it's a public knowledge, they had a dismal listing, right? The stock crashed on day one. And basically that killed all hopes of us doing an IPO that year. Because our business models, regardless of their size and scale, our business model is so similar that all our bankers and investors said कि अभी तो नहीं हो पाएगा, आप you have to wait at least 6 months. 6 months means 2022, so funding winter, markets went bad, Ukraine war. So the approval you get from SEBI, we got it, I think end of October, early November in 21, around the same time that Paytm actually got listed and we got just the approval. It's valid for 12 months. But वो 12 months में वो नहीं कर पाए हम क्योंकि market ही नहीं था and there was so much negative sentiment around fintech because of their listing that it was impossible. And then 23, it was even worse in terms of markets and funding climate. 23, 23 things started picking up. And Diwali 23, we started our IPO work. January 24, we filed. 4th January, we filed our prospectus again, second time with SEBI, after waiting for 2 long years. And हमारा bad luck ही खराब है. 31st January, again something happened with our competitor. Their license
the
went.
license got revoked. Yeah.
It was a huge jolt.
Now this is last year.
Yeah, this is
last year.
Yeah. So
24th.
4th January we filed, and same month, end of the month, this happened. It was huge shock.
And again, their stock.
And all the investors, the investment bankers said कि अभी तो आप भूल जाओ, फिर से आप wait करो. हमने कहा नहीं ऐसे कैसे? We are doing so well. We are profitable, EBITDA level. Why should we have to pay for other people's problems, right? So we tried, but it was rough. Generally, most companies get an approval from SEBI in 3 to 5 months. You know, when we got our approval from SEBI, I think around 20th September.
7 months.
9 months.
9 months.
Jan 4th we had filed. 9 months and बहुत सारी जद्दोजहद करके, बहुत सारी. We were like, करना ही है, किसी भी हाल में करना है, because it's too much pain. It's a very involved sort of documentary process. So it also, like, the entire company is not involved, but at least you have like 40, 50 people in the company who are involved just in that process. So we really wanted to sort of get it done, so to speak. So we had to fight really hard, argue with people, make them understand कि यार, just because something bad has happened with one company, you can't hold back another company. Like, so we had to fight first to get an approval. By the time we got the approval, the market started fluctuating a little bit. Then we went to our investor roadshows. First question people are saying, fintech तो unstable है, कभी भी license जा सकता है. Fintech is not sustainable business. You guys shouldn't be doing a fintech company. Do something else.
15 साल बाद.
I'm like, what are you saying? Like, you know, India was nowhere. Look at how, I asked the same people, how do you pay every day? What do you mean fintech का कोई future नहीं है? And of course, there are a few globals in the market, right? And they don't have a very clear business model where they make money or can ever show profit. But they don't need to. This is something people need to realize. Like, if you are a $1 trillion company globally, then if you lose $100 million in one country, which is a large and one of the fast developing countries of the world, it's okay. Doesn't matter. क्या फर्क पड़ता है?
आपके board meeting में discuss भी नहीं होगा.
This is what people don't understand. So they're like, how will you compete against it? Like, nothing to compete. They will never make a business. They'll never get into deep regulatory licenses.
It's a strategic investment for them to do something
just to
else.
get users, get data, and all of that. So anyway, it was an arduous struggle convincing investors first on the sector, then on competition, then our user proposition. How FY24 FY24 when we were going to the market, we had done about 900 crores in revenue. And we had shown a positive EBITDA of 37 crores and a PAT of 15 crores. And the story to the investors was, देखो 21 में हमने last पैसे raise किए थे. 21 when we had filed for an IPO, we had raised some money pre-IPO from ADIA. $20 million, which is also not much. So we're like, 3.5 साल पहले हमने पैसे raise किए थे, तब 300 crore था revenue. 300 से 900 पे आ गए.
बिना raise कर.
और तब negative 100 crore था EBITDA, positive 37 crore है. So, and इस सारे टाइम में भी कंपटीशन था ही. इट वाज नॉट दैट कि गूगल कहीं चला गया था, फोन पे कहीं चला गया था, पेटीएम कहीं चला गया था. सो बट या फाइनली गॉट इट डन. आई डोंट नो इफ मेनी ऑफ यू नो दिस एंड आई हैड आल्सो नॉट इमेजिन्ड इट, बट आई थिंक when we finally did the IPO, I think it was December 11, 12th and 13th. 3 दिन खुलता है IPO. So I remember Monday, Tuesday, we had done road shows where you meet journalists, etc. You're supposed to do the junket first in Bombay, then in Ahmedabad, then in Rajkot, because Gujarat is a big market for IPO, and then finally 10th, which was the first day, 11th, which is the first day the IPO was opening, we were to do a press conference in Delhi. So just last night I had flown in from Rajkot, Tuesday night. Wednesday morning, I know I left my house in Gurgaon around 9:45 or so, and I'm going in the car, and the investor relations guy is with me, my co-founder Bipin is with me, and all three of us are going for the press conference in CP area, कोई होटल में था. हम 2-2 मिनट में देख रहे हैं, 15 मिनट में IPO is done, 1x fully subscribed. 15 minute mein, I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, I was like this is validation, this is the public of India. Because see, this is open to public, right? I'm not talking about anchor investors, which is institutional. This is open, where retail people are buying. So in 15 minutes, the entire amount that we were raising, which was 572 crores, was fully subscribed. And then, of course, the IPO is open for 3 days. And when we ended on day 3 at 5 p.m., jab SEBI band karta hai, I think we were 120x oversubscribed. And so it was a big validation for all these years of mehnat to see so much confidence, that all the hard work of going and explaining to the investors, doing these roadshows where you are explaining to the journalists who will then write about it in their papers, so that the retail users can understand what is your business model, how are you different, why your license won't get taken away, and all of those things. And then when we opened on the market, the listing day, I think we opened like significantly higher, maybe not 100%, but 80-90% higher than the IPO price. So that itself was a big validation, because remember, the backstory was somebody crashing on opening. So our fear was also, we shouldn't crash. We shouldn't crash. We should just at least be at that price or go higher. And so I'm sitting here to tell you that it is possible.
This was a great story. I think we started from the beginning, and I think we soft landed the plane really well. Now I want to go back again, right? Now, as I said, a lot of the students here are in the 0 to 1 stage. What are some of the most exciting ideas that you are excited about, Joe, which you would recommend all of us to at least think about, work on, double click on, in and around fintech specifically?
Oh, in and around fintech. Okay, so I think the whole world is an oyster, especially if you're trying to do something in India. I explained the time, right? Ki itna opportunity hai. I think that I would say pure vanilla things in payments, whether it is a wallet, whether it is UPI, whether it is payment gateway, which is a B2B business, which let's say Razorpay, Cashfree do. All of these are sort of out there and commoditized now. What I'm seeing as a new wave is going in deep and trying to capture a niche. I'll talk about payments first and then get to financial services. So for example, last week, I met a company in Bangalore where they've said that they've identified that, Razorpay is there, BillDesk is there, PayU is there. They're offering payment gateway to large companies. Let's say, a MobiKwik and Airtel, Indian Railways, MMT, etc. But now, as you know, there's so many single owner businesses, or like, content creators, or couple of people coming together and running their own thing. So small businesses, very small businesses, and they may not all be e-commerce, like, or D2C. Like e-commerce, they'll do something on Flipkart or Shopify or whatever. But there are all these small 1 or 2 people type of businesses also, and unko koi easily nahi deta hai payment services. So what they did is that they created tools for them. They made very easy. How do you calculate your GST? How do you do your vendor payments and all your finances, especially if you're not a finance person? And if you're a 2-people company, then you can't do all of that. You can't hire anyone to do it. और वो सब बना के उसके around बहुत अच्छा SEO करके, they capture all these small businesses on their website and their app, and then they offer them payment services on which they make money. So this is one simple idea. It's their idea, I explained, but I'm just saying that go deep. So whether it is, you think about a vertical, whether it is payments for healthcare, payments for education,
Study abroad.
हाँ, payments for specific use cases, and that itself can be a big thing. For example, we all hear about digital lending. I'll move a little bit. Digital lending startups. Now, digital lending startups are offering loans either to users or small businesses or merchants. But you spoke about study abroad. There are all these students here. What about student loans? कहाँ मिलते हैं easily? I don't know. किन चीजों के लिए मिलते हैं, नहीं मिलते हैं. Medical loans. So go deeper into something and make it very easy. Very interesting company I met. They said that, see, Policy Bazaar does insurance distribution. Okay. But what about the back end? I don't know if any of you have experienced, but let's say if somebody in your family is hospitalized and you want to, get the
Claim.
TPA claim processed, etc. It's very cumbersome. You will sit in line or stand in line and form भरोगे, and then वो email होगा. email पे जाएगा, वो scan होगा.
email पे जाएगा, कौन सा कमरा मिलेगा, कौन सा नहीं मिलेगा.
It's very tedious. So I know a startup that said that they made tech for one or two insurance companies. And they made it in a manner where it is easy for, let's say, a Fortis or a Max or a chain of hospitals to connect with them, and it's not on email. It's like a systematic process, and it speeds up the process. So that's their claim, that we'll speed up the process for you. Now, I'm trying to tell you that there are three types of businesses. One is facing the consumer, and the consumer could be an individual or a business. Now, you have to identify which business, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, or very small. I think there is a lot of opportunity if you're building businesses that cater to tier 2, tier 3 India. Because tier 1 में बहुत सारे already banks and financial institutions are fighting for that business, and everybody is willing to make products where the ticket size is lakhs of rupees. Nobody is working on products where the ticket size is thousands of rupees. But if you're building a digital business, it doesn't matter. You will make 2%, 5%, 10% regardless of the ticket size, and you can get a lot of scale. Think about all these gig workers who are out there delivering things to you or running cabs. Think about the products or services that will appeal to them. And then I'll come to, I spoke a little bit about lending, going into specific use cases or niches or verticals. Investing. I think investing is a big opportunity. Because क्या ना किसी को समझ में नहीं आता. There are very few people who understand how to invest, and they are the ones, who will have a account on a Zerodha or Angel One or Grow or whatever. But half the people who are over there, वो क्रिकेट के ऐड देख लिया, म्यूचुअल फंड सही है और आ गए, पता है नहीं करना क्या है, like that, So most of India is very poor on financial literacy and also doesn't research enough. So I think that there is an immense opportunity to create something there.
You're also starting up.
We are also starting up, and I think that there are large players, but they're all building things which will appeal to, let's say, the top 100, 150 million Indians, like India A or India 1, whatever you call it. But the real India is India 2, India 3, where the investment ticket size may not be, 50,000 rupees or 1 lakh. The ticket size might be 10,000 or 500. But there's no harm in building for that because there's so much scale over there. And if you think that, if you think that you're very good at innovation and building products, but you not so good and don't want to build a consumer-facing business, because consumer-facing business mein user acquisition and marketing is a big thing, then you can also build B2B. Like, I can count hundreds of B2B fintech companies.
Procurement.
I call them the pipes. So I'll give you an example. Today, MobiKwik ties up with banks or NBFCs, and we integrate a loan journey in our app. And users हैं हमारे ऐप पे, तो users को offer दिख रहे हैं, जिस user को interest है वो पूरी loan journey करेगा, maybe page 1, page 2, page 3 होगा. And at the end of it, we'll hit the loan management system of the NBFC and loan is approved. But वो जो journey है, उसमें there are many steps. You have to do your KYC, it's a step. You have to set up an electronic NACH, basically a auto debit where the EMI will be deducted from your bank account. ये सारे tools and services कोई B2B company हमें provide कर रही है. और वो हर सेटअप पे हम उसको 5 रुपए 10 रुपए कुछ दे रहे हैं. वो यूजर का वेरिफिकेशन करने के लिए आधार वेरिफिकेशन, पैन वेरिफिकेशन, एवरीथिंग कॉस्ट. सो B2B pipes are also very powerful. And there is immense potential to digitize and create value there also. And I have not even come to using AI or machine
No,
learning.
it's very interesting. My friend runs a company in Los Angeles. He runs a lending platform for Hollywood equipment. Right? Because वहाँ पे rent होता है ऐसा Hollywood equipment. You don't buy those cameras, you rent those cameras.
Yeah.
So he actually finances people who buy those cameras and then they will rent it out and then pay him. There's a great IRR he makes out of that.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
interesting, very specific. What a niche.
I'm saying niche businesses have a lot of opportunity because often people think of an idea at such a meta level. It's always better to start small and then keep growing instead of starting with too big and then not being able to, get anywhere.
You know, there's always an opportunity. In my final year in college, we had to do a business plan competition, right? Happens in every college. And so I obviously picked India and I picked up this idea for Robinhood in India. Robinhood is Zerodha of US, right? It's the large stock trading app. And you know what my conclusion was? My conclusion was that India already has the ICICI app, already has an app called Share Khan.
Yeah.
You remember? Zerodha has already come in. And so there's so many players that there is no market anymore. And I was so wrong. I mean, Grow started after that. Angel One started after that. 20 other apps would have started after that.
Abhi aur aayenge.
Abhi aur aayenge. And at that time in 2013, I felt that ye market to khatam ho chuki hai. Right? There's always opportunity.
See, on the surface, you always think that there are key big players. How will you make a mark? But if you think about the pie, and if the pie or the TAM is so huge, then you can carve out a sliver. What you have to think about is that, can I build a business which will first capture 0.5% or 1% of this TAM? Because if the pie is huge and if you can capture even 1%, to start.
All right. I'm sure a lot of you have questions as well. This was a great story and this was great advice at the end. But I want to open it up to all of you as well. We'll take 5 questions. Yeah, go ahead. Go first.
So, ma'am, first of all, thank you so much for coming here. I was actually the first person to register for this particular event. The moment the forms came out, I was like, the first thing I did was I checked and I filled out my form. And very recently, my mother was literally sitting with me at night yesterday. And now because I come here and I understand business, so she sits and discusses all the problems that the company is facing right now because there is a little bit of a glitch. And she's like, "Ab mujhse nahi hoga, I can't do this anymore. I am done." Like every single day, I sit and I'm like, 6 new problems have come to me. So I was sitting here, and when you were telling your problems that you faced all through I made a video about it, and I sent it to my mom. I was like, if this woman can do it, don't think any less of yourself. You'll figure it out. And she's like putting a thumbs up on me, and she's sending it to me. So this is literally what I did when you were telling your COVID story. So first of all, thank you so much. This is a very rough phase for me as well. And listening to your story, I feel really inspired.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, mom.
My work here is done if you're inspired and your mom is inspired.
But my question to you is, now I am also getting out. I am meeting clients. My parents deal in government sector specifically. And now I went there to do 2 to 3 meetings. And, I have kind of understood that it's a very male dominated market, unfortunately. When I go there, I feel sometimes like an object in that situation where I'm sitting there, 6 men are sitting in the corner. I feel so cornered in that situation. Same goes with fintech. It's quite male dominated. Have you ever felt this kind of a feeling while meeting investors or while meeting any people in the fintech market?
Apt question. It is true. So, IPO Roadshow, I met 100 investors, both in India as well as globally, Singapore, Hong Kong, London, etc. Out of 100, think about how many women investors I met. One. It's okay. Kya kar sakte ho? Matlab, you can't let that stop you. And that is the situation today. Think about what it would have been 10 years ago or 15 years ago. But that shouldn't stop you. When I went to study mechanical engineering, or rather industrial engineering in REC Jalandhar, we were 3 girls in a class of, 100 guys. And हमने प्रण ले लिया था that all these male-dominated workshop classes, carpentry, foundry वगैरह, girls ही number 1 आएंगी. और हमने करके दिखा दिया था. So, you can't, I mean, I'm not trying to say anything to diss off the boys here. I'm just saying that take it easy. The world is a little bit rougher on women because there aren't too many of them out there. And she's very right. You know, I've had similar experiences when dealing with investment banks also. So my co-founder is a male, but he said कि यार finance is your baby, तुम 15 साल से कर रही हो, why should I help you? I mean, you should lead it from the front, and where I need to pitch in, I will pitch in. So you know what? I like the entire IPO process. It doesn't matter. And now all the investment bankers know कि sir को phone करने से कुछ नहीं होगा, मतलब काम तो यहीं से होने वाला है. So I think you can't let it stop you. 2018, I don't remember, 18, 19 कभी तो मुझे President of India से award मिला है for being the first Indian fintech founder who is a woman. And मैंने accept कर लिया. मैंने accept कर लिया. But I told her that you must do something where you invite, and you know they have been doing. You invite more and more women founders to inspire them, regardless of their sector. Because what I don't want is that कि 2028 में भी same situation नहीं होनी चाहिए. You know, it should be different. कोई first woman founder लिखने की जरूरत नहीं होनी चाहिए. That is sort of my, you know, thought process.
It's not your thing.
So let it not phase you. Just be there, be yourself, and just do it. Whatever you want to do, just do it.
आप भी जलंधर से हो तो भूल ही गया. At least आपका कॉलेज जलंधर में था.
Yeah.
Yeah. I cross it every week. Go ahead. Yeah, you have the mic.
Hi, ma'am. I'm Rudraksh. I'm in the first year of Masters Union. So my question is, अभी जैसे blockchain बहुत ज़्यादा boom पे है, and networks like Visa, Mastercard, RuPay, they have centralized network. So do you think there's a market for decentralized network for payment, like online payments?
So see, there are some initiatives on blockchain. I think that will pan out in the in the next few years. I think specifically, if you think about CBDC, I don't know if you looked at central bank digital currency. You know, that is something that has just gone live. I think RBI has been pushing for it for the last year. And I think us and Cred, we both went live early, couple of months ago. And more players are also joining that bandwagon along with other banks. So I think वहाँ पे कोई development हो सकता है. Blockchain for cross-border भी I think usage आएगा. But specifically, if you're thinking about all the, let's say, Web3 or crypto-related usage of it, I just will say that India is going to be always a well-regulated market. So keep that in mind. And what I've seen is that many people who want to work and experiment on that, and if they think that you will get stalled, then, you know, you go to Dubai, because that's, I mean, you set up your company in Dubai, because then you are governed by the laws over there, and there it is easier for you to experiment and do a lot more things on blockchain. What you're talking about may happen, but I think, I don't know, maybe 3 years out, 5 years out, but otherwise, I don't know, yaar, kuch bhi ho sakta hai duniya mein, you never know. I don't see it as immediate.
सारे questions इधर ही हैं सारे.
Now let's go there.
We'll ask this one, then we'll go there. अच्छा चल, तेरे पास है mic, आजा.
Hi, ma'am. Archit this side. I was just reading about Flipkart's recent move. They also started fintech as a feature, like they added super money. Similarly, we saw with Ola also they added money. Does these companies who are like food aggregators or ride-hailing aggregators pose a threat to you when they start hashing out like financial services to their existing user base?
Not really. I'll tell you what. This movie has played out before. You know, so in my 15-year journey, there was a time when wallet was king. Then wallet is dead. Then again wallet is king. And when I'm saying wallet is king, this was around 15, 16 time of time frame. I remember Make My Trip had a wallet. Zomato had their own wallet. Everybody was trying to build their own wallet. And so when we were trying to tell them, we'll build it for you, both white label and MobiKwik branded. So you can benefit from that. And they needed their own wallets, let's say, to store their refund money and loyalty points, cashbacks, which you can't get cash, but you can use it over a period of time. So all these things have played out. But think about it, dheere dheere, all of them started, you know, closing it down. Amazon, of course, has Amazon Pay and has succeeded, but they have immense focus for it. But also think about, as an example, Amazon, I'll say, if you think about Amazon Pay also, what is the biggest utility for Amazon Pay? It's Amazon only. Not outside of Amazon. You won't see them as much as you will see other fintech players. I think Ola has also tried it. Many players have tried it. But I think very recently there was news that Zomato had taken the payment aggregator license and then they gave it back. So I think many players try it.
Airtel also.
Many players
Airtel,
try
Jio.
it because, you know, when you do well in something, you think you will do well in everything. But then, you know, it remains to be seen. Few companies, I think, may actually find a value proposition for their own platform. I don't think at a overall level it creates a competition. I know the guys at Super Money, they're great. I think they'll do well. But I think of it again that it will help them build more engagement for Flipkart users instead of just net new users, or find a way for them to bring users which will enable them to sell things more via their own platforms than externally. Because क्या होता है ना, this क्या बोलते हैं इसको, affiliation always remains. So if they try to go, let's say, to other players, they will always think of it as an affiliation with Flipkart, and that never goes away. That independent play doesn't come out.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this insightful session. I think throughout the session, one key takeaway for me was that, you know, your grit, which you started off with, that you did not stop no matter what it was, may that be from your starting off of your journey back in 2009 and 10 when you were like, मैं तो मुंबई settle हो रही हूँ जब तक मेरे को, you know, वो नहीं मिल रहा. And even during your COVID time. But one thing that really stuck to me, I mean, we have our accounts classes going on, and I'm particularly really enjoying that. So when you said contribution margin and those small terms, I'm a UG student, I'm an undergraduate student, so I got really excited. So that basically gets me to the point that finance is quite the backbone of any, you know, company. But like how you showed cognizance in like the COVID period, you were like accounts receivable bhi hote hain, and that is how I should run my, you know, company now. How do you as a founder, you know, build that cognizance? How do you build that presence of mind or awareness? Because a lot of times, you know, founders just go into that depression loop hole and कि अब तो कुछ नहीं होगा, अब तो कैसे नहीं. How do you build that mindset कि अब तो करना है, अब तो कुछ नहीं हो रहा तो अब तो बिल्कुल करना ही है? And how do you find solutions?
So I think the first thing is, founder mindset is that always be positive. Always be positive. I mean, ठीक है, things don't work out, बुरा लगेगा, रात को अपने friends के साथ, family के साथ बात करो, ये करो. अगले दिन सुबह उठो, भूल जाओ. You have to make it work. And I'll tell you many things in life, including building MobiKwik. So many people have told me over the years, starting से, कि ये नहीं हो पाएगा, आपसे नहीं हो पाएगा. So I think of it, the journey is like climbing a mountain. आप पहाड़ चढ़ रहे हो, like not Everest, but let's say कुछ तो चढ़ रहे हो, कोई major hike कर रहे हो. You will keep meeting teams of people who are turning back कि भाई avalanche आ रहा है, snow आ रहा है, storm आ रहा है, आप रुक जाओ, turn back कर लो, वगैरह वगैरह. But what if you don't listen to them and you just keep walking? What will they do? They're not going to hold your legs, right? So I think that ऐसे कोई rocket science नहीं है, सब कुछ immediately नहीं आता है. There will be days when ideas नहीं आ रहे हैं. But during those days, don't get depressed. Keep thinking, keep brainstorming with your team, with other people who don't necessarily think about those things. Keep looking for that thing and it will come. And not necessarily the idea was mine. I don't even remember it was mine. But I made sure that we had a positive vibe, and the 5-6 key people, we kept talking about every day कि अच्छा ये नहीं है, equity अभी नहीं मिल सकती, debt भी अभी कहीं नहीं मिल सकता, ये business नहीं revive हो सकता, save करने के लिए ये नया छोटा business start किया था, बंद करो, ये पैसे बच जाएंगे, ये करो. You keep working on ideas until you get the big idea. So account receivables was one such big idea that we stumbled upon because we were looking at each and everything that was available to us to look at. And when you run out of options, तो कहीं ना कहीं तो land करोगे. I can tell you that I always say this, that जैसे सुनीता विलियम्स स्पेस में चली गई, तो स्पेस में जाने के लिए आपको बहुत स्पेशलाइज स्किल चाहिए. आपको किसी का हार्ट सर्जरी करना है, कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट बनना है, बहुत स्पेशलाइज स्किल चाहिए. Many years you have to learn that. बिजनेस बनाने के लिए इतना स्पेशलाइज स्किल नहीं चाहिए. I don't think चाहिए. You need to know what is your vision, what you want to achieve. You need to know what are your core values that you will never shy away from. And you need to have the go-getter attitude. Never say die attitude. So this IPO that took me 1 year to do, right? तो बहुत सारे डिप्रेसिंग डेज थे. ऐसे कई भी दिन होंगे जब मेरे को अंदर से बहुत सारा रोना भी आया होगा. Every day morning or however many days I found time to go to the gym, or if not while getting ready, मैंने अपने Spotify एक motivation playlist बना ली है. उसमें 7-8 मोटिवेटिंग गाने हैं और वो लूप पे चलते हैं, वो लूप पे चलते हैं जब तक मेरा दिमाग एकदम पॉजिटिव है, so that when I enter the office I'm fully energized and I'm going to energize 10 more people to think of 10 more ideas in addition to me.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
It's a
Very
good hack.
inspiring.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Hi, ma'am. Hi, Pratham. This is Arush Shrivastava, and I'm a second year undergrad. I too started a fintech startup, ma'am. It was into lending against securities, and I'm very bullish on lending. We were incubated by Reserve Bank of India as well, the Innovation Hub. We had a private setting meeting with Kunal Shah, and we explored a lot. But I feel there's too much competition right now, and as especially undergrads, maybe people didn't feel like we are capable enough. But although I'm very bullish on something called as ULI, payments have already gone into the IPO stages and they are now big giants. And I think so the next place which has to be, it's going to be the lending because it's very unorganized in India right now. So I really want to ask if I want to build something or anybody here in the room wants to build something in the lending space, what should be the steps? And do you even think
Sorry, if they want to build in the lending space, then
What should be the steps?
what should be the steps as founder from 0 to 1 and then 1 to 10, the scaling, and a few of the skills that a person should have as a founder?
So firstly, I think lending against securities is an excellent idea. I don't think it has been done to death. So बहुत opportunity है करने की. You should definitely work on it. What are the steps? I think the first step is that I think यहाँ पे आपको अच्छा सिखाते हैं critical thinking skills and writing down things. So you need to write down, you know, exactly. See, loan against security बहुत easy है, सबको समझ में आ गया. But exactly क्या करोगे उसमें? किस टाइप के यूजर के लिए है, किस टाइप की सिक्योरिटीज के अगेंस्ट होगा, कौन उसमें लोन दे रहा होगा, what will be your USP against whatever are the other players doing it, where will you reach if you start today, you know, where do you expect to reach in 6 months, 1 year? So goals, what is the minimum viable product and what will be your first validation, that you have to know that if I achieve this in this time frame then मेरे idea में दम है, ये validation point है, then I should find more like-minded people and I should work on it more.
Sounds good. Yeah, go ahead.
Firstly, we love to get hands on that Spotify playlist. Would really help a lot of us. Second, two very simple questions for you. First, we've seen a lot of unstructured markets getting structured in the last decade in India. Finance being one of them. Never, my parents ever heard the term of like, you know, paying online. But now we all GPay all the time. It's literally an action word for
थोड़ा
us.
MobiKwik भी कर लो.
हाँ नहीं MobiKwik भी करेंगे. MobiKwik.
See, already हम photocopy करने को Xerox करना बोलते हैं. तो एक ग्लोबल ब्रांड है वहाँ पे भी, अभी यहाँ पे भी अब जीपे करना बोल रहे हो तो ऐसे थोड़ी.
नहीं अब से MobiKwik करेंगे. And second question, like first question is that how do you first educate the customers about your need of the product and second convert them into the buy-in, because it's a mass product, it's something that people have to first be educated about. The second question is simply what drives you to do what you're doing today?
Okay, so first question was that how do you get people to come to your platform as opposed to others, right? That was your question. So as I said, for us, every company needs a hook to acquire users by, right? So for us, payments is the hook. And within payments, whether it is bill payments or e-commerce, those are the main hooks. And by that, e-commerce, I mean daily life things. Like people are ordering food, people are traveling, people are ordering groceries. So daily life things that you do, we want to make sure that we are in those checkouts because then you will see us. And let's say every day, I don't know, let's say X lakhs of people are opening the Blinkit app or the Zepto app. If I'm there in a prominent position, then I will also capture a good percentage of that. That's one. Second thing is, I already mentioned bill payments. Like we are all paying bills for something or the other, right? Some people are paying their home bill, some people are paying phone bill, Jio bill, credit card bill, rent, I don't know. So that's a big use case. Now, many people offer this, right? Paytm offers this, Cred offers it, PhonePe offers it, Google Pay offers it. So then what is our differentiator? So that is something that one needs to be very clear about, that what will be the overall user proposition for the user. For example, many of these apps that I spoke about, they've built their entire story around UPI only. So if you're doing UPI only, then you can't offer a whole suite of financial products to the user. Because if you're doing UPI, then the bank has done the KYC of the user. You as an app have not done it. And that is a big sort of barrier or stumbling block, whatever you call it. Our franchise is built around the wallet model first, and UPI is secondary. So when you get a user to open a wallet, that means उसने KYC कर लिया और वो 2 lakh rupees hold कर सकते हैं. अब वो 2 lakh rupees hold कर सकते हैं, so they can do many more things. And on the back of that, our USP is, as compared to let's say a Google Pay or a Phone Pay, we often offer credit products to the users. We used to offer a buy now pay later product to our users, which was very popular because it's linked to your payment spend. That product is sort of going through a bad phase regulatorily, but in lieu of that, we are bringing a card product for the user, which is again a spend card. These are not the kind of things that you will find on many of our competitors. And that is sort of how we try to solve something for the user, because we find that so credit cards in India are only available to 55-60 million Indians. So that's a very small number, right? And that is sort of where we are trying to make a difference, where if we have the user for payments, then we try to offer them a credit product which offers them working capital. And second question is, what keeps me going? What drives you, Pratham?
अब शुरू कर लिया है तो खत्म करना है. I think at the end of the day.
खत्म क्या होगा? This is a treadmill. You will be on it.
Correct. कभी ना खत्म होने वाला खत्म.
हाँ. So I don't know. I think that I find so many problems to be solved, और मुझे ये लगता है कि ये कल हो जाना चाहिए था, ये पिछले महीने हो जाना चाहिए था. I'm constantly running, like, there are too many things to be done, too many opportunities, I think. What keeps me going is, I think जब 10,000 users पे थे, तो I told my dad कि जब 1 million users पे पहुंचेंगे तो पता चल जाएगा कि whether moving back from America and giving up the green card and all of that was worth it or not. And hearing your brickbats, I told my parents at the time. जब 1 million पे पहुंच गए तो लगा 10 million पे पहुंच जाएंगे. जब 10 million पे पहुंच गए तो लगा 100 million users पे पहुंच जाएंगे. अब I think a lot of sort of time has flown by, and I've been through those years where people have asked कि आप अभी क्या कर रहे हो? And I would say I'm building MobiKwik. There was a fad when people were selling their companies and starting a second startup or starting their क्या बोलते हैं angel investor funds or something like that. And आप अभी भी वही कर रहे हो. And I was like, यार अभी भी मुझे इतना कुछ है करने के लिए, so I can't do 2-3 other things. I just want to do this really well. So I would say that in the listed market, there are so few fintechs, and there are very few tech companies in the listed market where a woman is found of the part of the founding team. So I want to create a long-term legacy for MobiKwik, and at some point I think I will find a way to do other things also that I would like to do. Like एक दिन मेरे को एक book लिखनी है, उसका नाम रखूंगी Tenacious Taku या Daku.
Hi, Upasana ma'am. It's great to see you again. My question to you is, coming from traditional wealth management background, wealth tech is a new buzzword in the fintech space. Do you think it's going to revolutionize the investing and wealth management market, or do you think it's just old wine packaged in a new bottle?
No, I think it is going to revolutionize. Like, has payments revolutionized the way how all of us pay? We do, right? Like, I think 10 साल पहले सबके पास कैश होता था वॉलेट में. अभी तो मैंने मल्टीपल टाइम्स दिल्ली बॉम्बे, दिल्ली बैंगलोर, दिल्ली चंडीगढ़ कर लिया है without carrying any cash at all, right? So it has made a significant impact in the entire country. So I think that whether it is wealth tech or insure tech or lending tech or and not just in finance. Why? I mean, I know I'm representing fintech, but I think internet companies have changed the way we live in so many aspects, right? Some models will come and go if they're not sustainable. That's fine. I mean, you try 10 things, some things will fail, but I think they will create permanent impact. So with wealth tech also, I think that there will be companies that just digitize some things, and there will be companies that try to say कि हमें incremental tech से growth नहीं चाहिए, हमें exponential growth चाहिए, and so they will build disruptive things. I think you can build disruptive things.
Hi, ma'am. First of all, it's so inspiring to listen to women founders, honestly, and I'm really, really grateful for this session. My question to you is, as you were talking about India 2 and India 3, as MobiKwik has been one of the early players in terms of digital payments, so how difficult was it to build trust, especially in the Indian market? Because PayPal has done it because of e-commerce growing in US, but e-commerce just recently came up in India. So how difficult was it back then for you to build trust?
Frankly speaking, I want to say it was difficult, but surprisingly, it wasn't. I mean, there were stages. I'll put it like that. When we were starting out, right, and I said that we acquired users automatically, organically, and that means लोग Google Pay में ढूंढ रहे थे, एक आधे transaction try कर रहे थे, and if they were happy with couple of transactions, then they would start parking money. Somebody's parking 1,000 rupees, somebody's parking 500 rupees, somebody's parking 5,000 rupees. And I was shocked. Like, who are these people? We are an unknown company, just started few months ago, and there are people putting money, their own hard-earned money in with us.
जिस पे इंटरेस्ट नहीं कमा रहे.
Huh. I was shocked, I'm telling you. So I found that the product experience and the product value was able to build trust in the users. And the fact that they were able to withdraw when they wanted, they were able to spend how they wanted. Now, one more caveat I will add is then there are times when there is significant growth in payments. Like all of a sudden, many people are joining digital. Every day, even today, new people are starting to use digital payments who have never used it in the past. Somewhere, let's say in a small Kharad mein, right? Like some smaller place in all parts of India. Even every day, people are buying smartphones and trying payments for the first time. So उसमें क्या होता है जब एकदम से बहुत सारे नए लोग join करते हैं payments और फिर क्या होता है if they have a bad experience, like you will not believe, I still remember in the first year itself, some user, they did a transaction, bill payment, the transaction is not successful, then automatically the money will get refunded to them. But in this case, it did not get refunded because they had a PSU bank and their APIs were not working properly. So the person kept calling us. He was calling us from Kerala and I think he wanted a refund for 25 rupees or something, and I told him कि 25 rupees से ज़्यादा तो तुमने पैसे खर्च कर लिए मेरे को कॉल करने में. Do you realize that? I've already written to you on email that you will get the money in the next 3 working days. So please believe that. So I'm just saying that is one thing. So people think that oh MobiKwik ने पैसे खा लिए. They don't realize that we are trying to get the money and there are antiquated systems in the country which we are still dealing with. Even UPI doesn't have very strong partial refund and chargeback mechanisms even today. So anyway, so when those type of things happen or fraud happens, then also people get pissed off. And many times we ask people that इसमें तो second factor authentication है. Even if somebody has misused your card to load money in their MobiKwik account because they get on their card statement money is loaded in MobiKwik. How did they get your OTP? हाँ, they called, वो मेरा कुछ PAN card expire हो रहा था तो I gave the. Sir, आप OTP कैसे आपने दे दिया? So financial literacy is poor in India. So when you have new users, first time users coming, होता रहता है. But overall, I find that people are trusting. I think there, अगर नहीं कर रहे होते तो फिर there wouldn't be companies like us.
Follow up, like in the initial days, I hope it was difficult for you. Like I'm sure it was difficult for you, like in India, to build that trust because obviously you're talking about payments and that is digital. So in India, no one is using that. They will talk about scams and all of that. That is like in the initial days, like in 2009, if we talk about what made you being determined on this particular idea you wanted to replicate PayPal in India?
So what made me determined is because when I had left the US only, I had left with the intention that I want to do something in India. And when I moved back to India, I first, I worked for a non-profit for like 7-8 months. There's a non-profit in Noida, I worked with them. And they were doing work in various, villages and towns in UP and Bihar. And so I went many times. And they were doing various business models like microfinance kar rahe the, trying to buy the artisanal product and sell it in large markets like Delhi, Bombay, or even export it, etc. They were trying different models. And finance में भी बहुत सारी चीजें कर रहे थे. So I tried that. And finance में they were trying micro ATM. And micro ATM क्या था? There's a human being. उसके पास एक अभी भी चलता है by the way model. एक ATM machine है, small ATM machine like you can carry on your backpack. And today he's going to village 1. Tomorrow he'll go to village 2. Day after he'll go to village 3. And in the whole day is in that village and he's doing debits and credits. And they are all asynchronous. So they are getting recorded in that,
The
machine. And then once he comes to internet, then they all get, reconciled, so to speak. So I was like, and ये block level पे हो रहा है, districts में blocks होते हैं, blocks में villages होते हैं. I was like, यार ये तो मतलब 100 साल लग जाएंगे इंडिया के हर village में पहुंचने में. This is going to take forever. And these were, non-profits funded by like Gates and Acumen Fund and all of these. So I tried that for 7-8 months, try to make a difference. Along with me, they had some other sort of, I would say, trainees or people who had given up their jobs and wanted to do some good pro bono. They wanted to do. तो किया हमने, and then I realized that digital is the way, because otherwise it's going to take forever to create impact. If your goal is to democratize financial services or financial inclusion improve करना है, then digital is the way to go. That was my one learning. And number two, my other learning was that for-profit is the way to go. Because for-profit breeds accountability. There's a P&L, there is tracking, and those were my two learnings. So then I decided ki this is how I want to do it.
All right, let me go this way, guys. Is there anyone? There we go.
You have been through many ups and downs throughout these 15 years and this journey. So, what were your core leadership principles? Not towards your business specifically, but towards your people who were working for you. So, yeah.
Good question. Very different question. So please don't ignore this side, yaar. Idhar bhi jaya karo. So very good question. So when you're doing your own business, your own startup, I think you start small. So it's very important to get the right people with the right traits, and the values have to be fully aligned. Otherwise, kuch fayda nahi hota hai. So first thing for me is that people who are all in, like they completely believe in the vision, they completely believe in you as founders, and they will do everything that is humanly possible to make it happen. Because, Rome was not built by one person, neither was it built in one day. So you definitely need a team, and obviously it will take time for anything of material value to get created. So you need people who have the same conviction as you of getting things done. Second is like, you have some moral code or ethical values that you have, and you want to make sure that it is the same for everybody in the company, so that there is no confusion, like what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. So hardworking people with the right sort of level of conviction, very high level of loyalty and ethics, and what else? And obviously the skill set for the work that they are trying to do. I mean, that doesn't always work. मतलब मैंने तो बहुत सारे लोगों से जिनका skill set X था उनसे Y भी करा लिया है. But that's where, attitude plays in. Like you do anything and everything that is required to get things done. I think that is very, very important for me. So I can give you an example differently. So we are a product and tech focused company. There were times where we interviewed, let's say we had to hire one person, and we interviewed two people. One came from a very strong pedigreed school, very good academic background, well spoken, etc., etc. But I thought that we, the interviewing panel, we thought that he or she has a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. So, they think that some things are good for me and other things are not good for me to do. But काम में ऐसा नहीं होता है. You may get the most interesting project to work on, but you will also have to work on the mundane pieces, right? Because like, if you're trying to build innovative new products, doesn't mean that you will give up on your scaled existing products, right? So the second person was probably not the best on academia, had not gone to such a prestigious school, but had the same level of intellect and curiosity, and had a go-getter attitude. That if I come to this company, I will do anything and everything that I need to do to make sure my team is successful and my entire product stack is successful. So we would always hire such.
How do you judge that? बोलने को तो कोई बोल देगा.
आप पूछो ना कि आपको ये भी करना पड़ा, वो भी करना पड़ा, कैसे करोगे? या what is the most challenging thing you have done? Or what is the most boring thing that you have done but that needed to be done? I mean, you have to ask it in different ways to figure it out. See, ego and wo doesn't work out. I mean, at least for us, it doesn't work out.
All right, I said 5 questions in the beginning, if you remember. I couldn't bhul gaya. Okay, do we have time? I'm going to ask you first.
आप बताओ, couple of more and then we'll wrap it
Okay,
up.
last 2 questions then. No one's okay. Last two. Okay, done.
Hi, ma'am. I'm Mukund Agarwal. I want to know more about your partnership with Lendbox and the complications that you faced with your product Extra. So I want to know, is it the complications mainly because of excessive compliance required by RBI, or the real problems with the P2P lending space?
Okay, good question. So, and also aligns with one of the other questions around trust building, right, that she was asking. So, Extra is a P2P lending product that we launched a couple of years ago in partnership with a P2P NBFC called Lendbox, as you just mentioned. Now, whether it is the personal loan products where we partner with banks and NBFCs, or whether it is the Extra product where we partner with a P2P NBFC, firstly, I want to say that in all cases, MobiKwik is a distributor of the product. We are not the manufacturer or OEM. We don't have the license to lend. We partner with banks or NBFCs who can lend. Similarly, we partner a P2P NBFC who can raise the money, right, and give returns on that. So we partnered with them. We raised the money with them. Now, last year, what happened is that RBI has significantly changed the regulations that apply to P2P NBFCs. All P2P NBFCs, not just Lendbox, all. And in fact, I want to tell you, the regulations are harsh, and all of them, their industry body is trying to lobby with the government to try to soften it. But abhi tak kuch hua nahi hai. In fact, couple of P2P NBFCs have already gone under. Couple se bhi zyada, maybe 3-4. So there are only few surviving who are still trying to make it work. Now, what is the complication? To make life easy, what used to happen is that for all the loans that is given, there's a collection effort. Somebody has to call the customer, ki aap pay kar lo, time pay, people forget, etc., etc. So there's collection costs also associated. So somebody has to do it. And so as they used to do it, they will employ people, collection agencies who will do it, etc. And then what happens in P2P loan is that, let's say Pratham has invested 10,000 into Extra. That 10,000 cannot go to you. It has to be distributed across n number of loans. That is the basic requirement of P2P NBFC from the RBI. So that 10,000 is distributed, let's say, across 100 loans. ठीक है, ऐसे उन्होंने किया है day 1 पे जब लोन दे दिया. तो 100 लोन से जब कलेक्ट होगा, फिर वो पूल होके वापस दिया जाएगा उनको हर महीने. That is sort of how it was working. पहले इसमें क्या होता था, on demand था. Like if Pratham wanted to get the money back, then he could pull the entire money back, and how Lendbox used to enable it is that somebody else would buy his portfolio. So he has invested in 100 loans with that 10,000 rupees. He got the first EMI, second EMI. Let's say in the third month, he said that I want my entire principal back. I don't want the remaining interest, but I want the principal back. So let's say that is 7,000 rupees now. So somebody else, let's say she has invested 7,000 today, that will be used to buy him off. So now he's out, and those same loans are mapped to her now. So ये ऐसे चलता था because the secondary transactions were allowed. So two things RBI said in the new regulation: secondary transactions are not allowed. So the original person who has invested, only they will get the collection from those loans. And also what they have said is that it will not be money that you collected monthly will not come back to you every month as one EMI. It will come as and when. Let's say 100 लोन है, इन्होंने आज पे कर लिया, इन्होंने कल किया, तो जो भी चिल्लर बन के आएगा वो आएगा. And in doing that, RBI is actually thinking that they're protecting the user because they want the money to come back to the user immediately, the investor user immediately, instead of it getting pulled together and waiting for everybody or 90% of the people to pay. So I think these are the reasons due to which it is not customer friendly anymore. People are very unhappy ki, why can't I pull out the money on demand? Because RBI doesn't allow on demand. RBI says that if you want to invest...
It's supposed to make it easy, but it's made it tough.
It has to be a fixed tenure. You cannot invest your money in less than, let's say, 3 months. And for 3 months, your money is locked in. You can't pull it out.
And it's not a great consumer play then.
And when they I think around 15th August, they came out with a new regulation. Generally, they give time to implement it. Usme likha tha, this has to be implemented immediately. As soon as you read it, you have to implement it. So I think हफ्ता 10 दिन लगाए होंगे उन्होंने implement करने को, and हमने भी implement कर दिए. But it is of course causing lot of problems to people, mistrust, etc. But they are trying to follow the compliance, because if they don't follow the compliance, then their license will also get taken away. And of course, it is inconvenient to users because it's a massive change. Ideally, it would have been nice if the regulator would have said that going forward, it should be like this. And जो already जो लगा हुआ है पैसा, उसको retrospectively आप 2 months या 3 months में wind down कर लो. But ऐसा time नहीं दिया उन्होंने. So it is what it is. Again, I will reiterate, India is not like China or Sweden or many other countries. In terms of fintech or financial businesses, India is a very well regulated, tightly regulated market for all licenses. And it will be.
I have a question. We'll shut the camera, then I'll ask you, so that you're comfortable.
So do you think there's still scope for innovation here despite these regulations, or is P2P doomed already?
I think there is scope for regulation. I mean, there's scope for innovation, both in regulation and there's scope for innovation in the product. And I want to tell you that we've already launched this product in New Avatar with Lendbox. Under the new guidelines also, we've launched it as a new product. So you should 100 रुपए का करके देखो, try करके देखो, पता चलेगा. So I believe in it, but of course, if the regulations soften, then the scope will increase further.
I was actually trying out with 100 rupees for this.
Okay.
Yes. So, hi, ma'am. Rudraksh again. So, as she mentioned, we have our accounts class and we've been learning in that. So, I have a question for you both. What is the North Star metric for MobiKwik and Masters Union? And how do you keep your employees maintained to the goal, towards the goal?
I can start.
Please.
I mean, you know my answer. It's always been.
But I don't know. So I want to know.
No, I repeat it 10 times a day to them. So our North Star metric has always been the Financial Times ranking, right? And that ranking is made up of around 18 to 22 different metrics. And each of those metrics are then sort of aligned to one of the teams that we have working here at Masters Union, right?
So Financial Times has a ranking for
Financial Times
educational
has a business school ranking. And so that's what we're gunning towards. 5 years to go till we get to our top 10 target.
It's a good target to have.
What about you?
What about us? What is our target? I think our first target.
Share price?
No. No, our first target is that I think we have been growing fantastically last few years, roughly 50 to 60% growth we have been seeing. I think we want to continue just growing in that fashion for the next 10 years, because I want to show that it is possible to build a fast growing, sustainable, profitable fintech in India. That is underline it. That is what I want to prove. Because I've had so many people tell me that India mein fintech mein paisa nahi banta hai and all of that. So I just want to show it consistently. If Bajaj Finance could do it as an NBFC, why can't a fintech do it? Of course we can do it. And we are going to show that it is possible to do it. So that's sort of, one goal. The other goal for me is, and for the teams, is specifically that we want to make sure that, see, we've seen all these years where people have come and spent billions of dollars on marketing. We have not had that kind of access to capital. Prior to the IPO, in all, we had raised about 1,200 crores. So about $150 million, which is a lot, if you say that. But in contrast to all our competitors, it is nothing. It is chump change, because most of them have raised, I think one of them has raised maybe 2-3 billion and the other one has raised even multiples of that, right? So I think one of the things that I always said when they were doing that is एक साल के लिए, and this should bode well with your rankings, एक साल के लिए number 1 या number 2 आके कोई फायदा नहीं है. You want to, because see, the market is not made in 1 year. It is made over a long period of time. So you need to have a seat at the table. Whatever is that table, top 5, top 3, whatever you think of it, or top 10, for a long period of time. Because then you can say that it is not because of one human being or one person or the massive goal that somebody created. It is a sustained dream, it's a sustained vision, which is this institution is able to, make it happen year after year after year. So that's what I want to see MobiKwik in that space in fintech companies for a very long period of time, even when hopefully I'm not in this world.
Genuinely, you were so open and you're such a good storyteller. You should have started doing this a long time ago. maybe would have had more women in fintech as well. But no, I think there I durst. I really appreciate. Genuinely, it was great. I think all of us would agree. The insight per minute was super high.
Amazing. It was amazing to be here. Loved the questions. And I can tell you this, that through my entire career, even when I was studying versus when I started working till date, I find that young people are amazing, full of energy, and I love working with them. So I find it still inspiring, and I learn a lot from all the people that I interact with. So
So you've taken 2 MBA students right now. Are you accepting some undergrad interns also?
why not?
Okay, good. Awesome. No, Fasna, thank you so much. This was awesome. Genuinely.